Welcome to the Excellent Life Podcast, a podcast where you are inspired, motivated, and challenged to live a life of excellence. On the show, I will cover topics like created for excellence, keys to living an excellent life, and living your very best life. My special guests will also share from their wealth of experience the principles for living an excellent life. I'm your host, Bola Mateloko, and I'm so excited to be with you today. Welcome to episode 17 of the Excellent Life Podcast. I remain your host, Bola Mateloko, and I'm super excited and delighted to be with you again today. The topic for today's show is excellent money matters, and I have a very special guest who will be joining me in this discussion. Shola is a personal and business finance coach and chartered accountant with over 20 years of hands-on experience. She's passionate about helping people at individual and business levels understand the make, manage, multiply money message, maximize their resources, achieve their crucial financial milestones, and build true wealth through the concept of financial planning. Through the Smart Stewards Financial Advisory Limited, a holding company that owns the Smart Investment Club, the Smart Stewards Academy, Book Smart Financial Solutions, and other subsidiaries, including the Smart Stewards Advisory LLC, registered in Delaware, USA. Shola has helped many people, young and old, as well as businesses in over 25 countries, bounce back from financial stress to rest, from debt to wealth, to living amazing lives. As a financial enthusiast, Shola is an advocate for SDG 5 and SDG 10 with a firm belief for achieving gender equality and reducing inequality via financial literacy, financial technology, and access to funding, especially for women entrepreneurs and family units. She is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, a fellow of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants of the United Kingdom, ACCA, a member of the Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada, and she holds BSc and MBA degrees from the Oxford Brookes University and Edinburgh Business School in the United Kingdom, respectively. She is an alumni of the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, an initiative of the United States Embassy in Nigeria, an alumni of Cherry Blair Foundation's Road to Growth program, as well as an alumni of Goldman Sachs' 10,000 Women program. She is a member of the Select Global Women in Tech Mentoring Network of the United States of America. She has facilitated for government parastatals and private institutions, and she has been recognized by several Nigerian companies, including the First Bank, EcoBank, amongst others, as one of Nigeria's finest upcoming businesswomen. She sits on the board of 2 Nigerian NGOs. She's an author of 8 published books and several unpublished articles in the public domain. Shola was recognized as one of Nigeria's 100 most inspiring women in 2020, and has won many awards in recognition of her job in the finance and business industry. She was recently admitted into the Forbes Coaching Council as she continues to leverage global alliances and partnerships to demystify and amplify the money message around the world. Please join me in welcoming to the Excellent Life Podcast my dear friend Shola Adeshakin. Welcome, Shola. It is such a pleasure to have you on the Excellent Life Podcast.
Thank you so much. I am really excited to be here, and I know we are going to have an amazing time and an amazing session today. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and thank you for accepting my request. So right off the bat, I want to ask you, what does sound financial planning mean? So when we talk about sound financial planning, what does that mean?
Okay, so literally, financial planning means the process of planning your finances with a long-term view in order to achieve your financial goals. So let me try and unpack or unbundle that statement. You are planning your finances with a long-term in view so as to achieve your goals. The first question when it comes to personal financial planning is, what are your goals? So it's not enough to just want to make money. It's not enough to make money. It's not enough to just want to make, a lot of people want to make more money, which is fine, which is a good thing to desire. But the question is, what are succinct and concise plans that you have? What are goals that you have set out to achieve, such that as you make more money, as your finances get better, you can say, yes, I am moving closer, to my goals. I am moving closer to achieving my goals. So I don't want to talk about, the very, very complex part of financial planning. I just want to say, remember my simple definition. Financial planning is the process of planning your finances with a long-term view so as to achieve your goals. I like this quote that, I like to say it all of the time. I don't even know who the author is, but it says that nothing guarantees a good future like a correct picture. Okay, so when it comes to finances, we are saying keep your future in mind. Keep it as a picture. And as you make money, as you manage money, as you multiply your money, you keep your goals in mind and you move towards a direction of achieving that goal or those goals.
Fantastic. Oh, wow. That is absolutely fantastic, because I like the fact that you have simplified it, because, many times when you talk as a professional, you can use some terms that, people listening to you will get lost because they can't really understand the depth of those terms. So I really like the fact that you've simplified it. Financial planning is just having a goal for your finances, bearing in mind that you are thinking of the long term in respect of your finances. So fantastic. So, okay, so the next question I want to ask you is, how do you maintain a balance between trying to save or plan for the future while at the same time actually enjoying the fact that you are working hard and you want to be able to afford the many comforts of life and not find yourself in a situation where you are basically penny pinching? So I would like you to speak to that. How do you strike that balance in trying to manage your finances in an excellent way?
All right. I love that question. And like you said, it's about creating the right balance. So I belong to the school of thought that says you only live once.
Amen. I say amen to that.
Which means enjoy your life as much as you can. Also belong to that school of thought that says that you've got to plan. So the balance is you've got to plan in your finances in a way that will afford you the opportunity to also enjoy yourself. Let me use the example of my friend that comes to mind so easily. Now, this, my friend, works in a multinational company. She earns quite well, but every month she takes herself to a restaurant once her salary is paid. Every month. And she's done this for 16 years that I have known her.
Wow.
She will order good food, and then she will say, you know what, spirit, soul, and body, we've done this again this month. Well done.
Well done.
Let's do this again next month. Fantastic. Now, it may sound funny, but we all have those things that make us tick. We all have those things that excite us, right? You go out day in, day out, early morning, come back late at night, working, making money. The system is designed to take from you, from taxis to service providers to rent, to school fees, and whatnot. The ways by which you can compensate yourself will be, number one, saving, which is putting money aside. Number 2 is taking care of yourself and, sort of encouraging yourself. You also need to encourage yourself, right? Most times we encourage people, do this, do that. But we hardly self-encourage. We hardly self-reward. We don't reward ourselves. Most times we are too hard on ourselves. So back to the question. I don't believe in penny pinching. I believe in making out a proper plan, which is in line with what we have been discussing, financial planning. It's about you knowing what you want, identifying and prioritizing your necessities, right? And then knowing the things that you love, that you would love to have. So it comes to having a budget and creating a budget to say, you know what, 50% of what I earn will go into my necessities. That's an example, because I teach the 50, 30, 20 budgeting rule modified. 50% of whatever you earn should go into your necessities.
Okay.
30% should go into your savings and investments. And the remaining 20% should go into your wants. Now, your wants are nice to have, things you love to do. Some people, it could be good dining out, fine dining. Some people, it could be hair extensions. Some people, it could be nice shoes. Some people, it could be nice bags. Some people, it could be nice dresses. It could just be anything. But we are saying, hey, make an allowance for taking care of yourself and getting those things that are not necessarily necessities, but they are ones that will make you happy. So by so doing, you are not penny pinching and you are not going, over and above your budget to sort of just, reward yourself from time to time. So a budget will help you create that balance so that you're just in a generally good place. I have come across people who are in their 50s, who are in their 60s, who are full of regrets. Like, I wish I did more of that, more of this. I wish I took care of myself, So you don't want to, regret.
Live a life of regret. Absolutely, absolutely. So, as you know, I am a pastor, so I have to ask you, whenever we talk about money matters, I also talk about tithe and giving to the work of God. So as someone who is a financial specialist, how do you accommodate that in this your 50, 30, 20 rule so that you also at least put God into, the concept of your financial planning? So I want you to just speak to that.
Fantastic. So I like to say that the word personal finance, when taken literally, just means personal finance. It's largely personal. So as financial coaches, we can come up with suggestions, admonition, rules, templates, and all of those things. It still comes back to the individual. So back to that question. For me, my tithes comes out of my income at the very top.
At the top, absolutely.
So what I am applying my 50, 30, 20% on is what I call my net of tithes.
Absolutely.
For some people, their tithes may come out of the 50%. I have seen people who have said, oh, my tithe is a necessity, so it comes out as part of my 50%. What that means is that I remove my 10% and then the remaining 40% will go into my necessities. Do you understand? Yeah. And some people will say, no, I will remove my necessities, then I will pay my tithes. Some people even pay far and above 10%. So it's personal. But for me, what works is take away the 10% or more, I pay more actually, and then dissect and divide the remaining.
Rest, yeah.
Over the years, the art of budgeting that I don't really need to say, okay, 50% into what? Most times I even save more than, what my necessities demand. Sometimes I save 60%. Sometimes I save 50%. Sometimes when an income comes in, a particular salary comes in, I don't need to pay obligations out of them because I've taken care of my obligations from some other income source or from, so it's personal. You work out what works for you, but make sure it really works.
Okay, so one thing I wanted us to also discuss is in the issue of financial planning, budgeting is so important. So I want you to just talk to us as lay people. How do you come up with a good budget system to help you accomplish your financial goals?
So I know the word budget is something that we throw around all the time. You go to any financial session and saying budget. Let's even demystify. A budget is like a navigator, a sat nav, a Google map that shows you what's ahead. It shows you what is coming in as income. It shows you what must necessarily come out, right, as outflows. Now, except your finances change significantly from month to month, a budget is not something you draw all the time. It will become inundating. So we teach budgeting, but we don't teach tracking and reviewing. So you can budget once in 3 months, once in a quarter, once in 6 months. What you should do monthly is to track and review. Again, like I said, except your financial circumstances change significantly month in, month out, you're not meant to be budgeting all the time. You're meant to be reviewing. And how do I do it? Already I said you can use a 50, 30, 20 rule. Some people, they do zero budgeting. They just spend as, the days come by. Some people do envelope type of budgeting where, you know the amount you're meant to spend on different things and put the amount in envelopes. That's very risky because some people are very bad with cash. I've practiced it in the past whereby once I dust money in an envelope, I just move on. I don't care if the money in the other envelope is for prayer. I don't spend anyhow. But coming back to reviewing is where the work is. Tracking is where the work is. And how does it work? Pick an app of your choice. I use an app called Monify, Monefy. It's a free app. And there are tons and tons of apps. Within my investment club, we're working at a budgeting app that would also help our members and the public at large. So this app helps me just, log in my expenses. Maybe I do it once in 3 days, once in 4 days. Just the key things. So literally, I can't give somebody maybe $5 or $1,000 and then I go in recording. It will be inundated. But the key things, right? The key expenses, I log it in so that at the end of the year, at the end of the month, rather, the app will sum up my expenses and it gives me an idea. So this month, I have spent $150,000 on makeup, on my nails, on my hairs, on a spa day. It just gives me an idea generally.
Yeah.
Again, we are not paying attention.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the art of budgeting is simple. Establish what your basic income is, what your basic monthly expenses are, and then start to track. Use an app to track. Then build the discipline of also logging in your expenses. Because without logging those things in, there's no basis for comparison to see if you have done well, if you have done far and above your budget, or if you have done below your budget. So how do you measure your performance with money? Do you see?
So for someone who at this point is saying, okay, now I've come to a point where I realize that I need to be able to manage my money better. What is the first thing they need to do now? And what is it that they need to actually do consistently going forward to be able to have sound financial money management?
Well, I tell people that, maximizing your resources is a combination of three things. Just doing well with your money is a combination of three things. Number one, get the right knowledge, right? Number two, get the right skills. Number three, have the right mindset.
Wow.
So for whoever wants to start to manage their finances well, get knowledge. And you're on the right path already. If you're listening to this podcast, it shows that you're interested in taking your financial life to notches higher, right, than your current level. So get the knowledge. Read books. Go on YouTube. Download videos. This day and age, things are interestingly available, but we're not able to sort out.
And free, yeah.
Free, but we are not. prioritize these things. So get knowledge, number one. Then start to, from the knowledge you get, you start to build the right skill sets. What are some of the skill sets? We've talked about budgeting. Budgeting is a skill.
Yes.
Saving is a skill.
Yeah.
Doing it consistently is a skill, right? Knowing how to invest well is a skill. It takes time. Dave Ramsey says attaining financial success is a marathon and not a sprint.
Absolutely.
So it's something that you do all the time, you rinse and repeat, right? What other skills? Accountability skills, self-regulation skills. You should be able to practice self-regulation, delayed gratification. It doesn't just happen to you. There are things you must intentionally, imbibe. Last thing is having a mindset. You can win with your money. It doesn't matter where you have been in the past, the mistakes that you have made. I mean, and I am still a chartered accountant, but for a better part of my earlier career, I was always broke. I was always agitated. I was always going out for prayers in church because I thought I had spiritual problems or village people were after me.
Your village people.
It was financial illiteracy. And then I had to say, hey, money is inanimate. I am animate. I am better than money. Francis Bacon said, money is a bad leader, but a good servant. I am going to be a leader to my money. I'm going to gain control over my money. So just those simple things, rinse and repeat, build the muscles, do them over and over again. And in no time, you'll be a guru at managing your finances.
Fantastic. I was talking, so funny, you're so interesting, rather, that you talked about, getting knowledge. I was saying to someone today that there's a saying that knowledge is power. And when you get the right knowledge concerning your finances, then you literally have the power to be able to manage it effectively. So I want you to kind of also give us some little insight into investing. One of the things that you talked about as to how to manage your finances is to invest. So when you talk about investment, what are the key things to bear in mind? Like, for instance, now if I make up my mind, I want to invest, my money, invest my resources, what are the things to bear in mind in doing that?
All right. There are 4 things to bear in mind when it comes to investing. It's an acronym, and I call them the SGAR factors. S standing for your financial situation. Again, it's somebody's disposable income is another person's bonus. You can't be invested at the same level. So you need to understand how much you really, really have to invest, which is a function of your disposable income. The second thing will be your goals. Our goals differ. In personal finance, people set 3 types of goals. Short-term goals are the things you want to do in 1 year. Mid-term goals are the things you want to do in 2 to maybe 4 years. Long-term goals are the things you want to do 7 years and above. Your goals will be different from my goals because our circumstances, they differ. They're different, right? And then the next one will be your age. I tell people, somebody who is approaching retirement cannot be investing like somebody who is in their 20s. Wow. Somebody who is in their 20s can afford to do all of this cryptocurrency, very risky and volatile asset classes. They lose money, but they will bounce back. Absolutely. But if you are approaching 60, 65, and then you take your life savings and then you invest in very risky assets, if you lose that money, it will take a longer time for you to recover, right? So your age is very important. Before you invest in anything, you must consider those things. So when people come to you and say, no, you have to invest in these things, you have to invest in that one, you need to sit down and think about this already discussed 3 factors. And then the last one will be your risk temperament. Remember I said GAR. Some people are very conservative. They don't want to lose their money at all. Some people are moderate and some people are aggressive. Aggressive people say, just bring it on, bring the risk. I don't mind. I don't care. If I lose the money, I'll make more. Now, if you are following that person bumper to bumper, as we like to say, and you know your risk temperament is very conservative, you're going to be in trouble.
Absolutely.
So understand risk temperament and go for investment classes or asset classes that match your risk temperament.
Yes.
So you don't get your.
All right. So the final question I want to ask you is that, in your financial opinion, what are the opportunities that, people can tap into now when it comes to investing? Because they're like you talked about crypto. I know there's mutual funds. So what would you recommend, that if I'm looking to invest now, what kind of investment should I be looking into? What kind of investment vehicle, as it were, should I be looking at this point in time, based on the way the economy of the world is at this point in time? Yes.
So I was going to say the global economy is currently struggling, and so are economies. There are a lot of things outside of our immediate control. Ukraine, Russia, everybody's affected.
Yeah.
Corona happened. All the countries of the world, we're affected. So beyond things that are within our control, there are a lot more things outside of our control. But I would say that for those who are new to investing, I would say very low risk opportunities. Cash is king right now. And I'm saying that from a place of experience. I run an investment club, and I know what we have gone through this year, last year, trying to recover some of our investments. So I would say low opportunity, fixed income. Now, fixed income, for example, are treasury bills, cash and cash equivalents. For those who are in Nigeria who may be listening to this, Eurobonds, because with Eurobonds, you're hedging against currency risks and all of those evaluation issues. So for me, fixed income securities they're low risks. They're low risk opportunities. There's nothing such as no risk in investing.
Yeah.
Right? We say low risk or high risk. So consider low risk opportunities. Talk to your bankers, asset management companies, and just find out fund managers. Really. There's some mutual funds, for example, money market mutual funds that are also low risks. Some mutual funds are tied to the equity market. Those are high risk investments in the sense that, their performance is tied to the performance of the stock market. So play it low, play it simple. Prioritize having cash, building like your war chest of cash, so that bigger opportunities come, like buying real estate, you have something to offer, right? So I will still say fixed income and cash and cash equivalents. Mutual funds that are low risk in nature. I know in the US, for example, you have different funds, S&P, 500, and a couple of other funds like that. You do your research, talk to your financial advisor, and just tell them you want low risk opportunities that will avail you the opportunity of cashing out at any point in time without the risk of losing your money, so that you can leverage opportunities in other asset classes, for example, real estate. Equities, for those who are fairly experienced, you will agree that all around the world, the equity market in America has been quite, bearish, right? It might be a good time for people who are looking at going into the equity market so that they can, just grow through, the market as it bounces back whenever. So it might also be, if you have the long-term view, it might be a good time to go into the equity market. But for people who are just saying, I just want to see my money, I don't want issues, I don't want trouble.
Yes, show me the money.
Right.
Show me the money.
A bit of real estate here and there, but just play it safe as things unfold,
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. And if you're listening, please make sure to go follow Shola on Instagram, Smart Stewards. She's always releasing some financial nuggets, and I know that they will bless you and they will help you reach your financial goals. Thank you. We are so grateful to have you on the Excellent Life podcast. And as I close the show today, I'm going to close with some affirmations targeted at helping you accomplish your financial goals. You are capable of overcoming any financial obstacle that comes your way. You are an excellent money manager and boldly conquer your financial goals. Your capacity to hold and grow financially expands every single day. You have more financial resources going in than is going out. You enjoy managing and investing your money, and your finances improve beyond anything you could ever imagine. You have the power to be a financially successful person. You have the capacity to build the financial future that you truly desire. You have the discipline to make financial choices now to enjoy life later on. You are in control of your spending and you have sound financial habits. You are responsible with money and you manage it wisely. Please join me next time for another inspiring episode of the Excellent Life podcast. Bye for now, and God bless you. Thanks for joining me this week on the Excellent Life podcast. I trust that you have been inspired by the show today. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Bola Mateloko, the Excellent Life Coach. And be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes so you never miss an episode. If you love the show, please leave a rating on iTunes so that I can continue to bring you many more life-changing episodes. Thank you for listening, and I will be with you in 2 weeks for another inspiring episode. Till then, remember, it is possible to live your very best life.